This is the plaintiff, Edward Serio. He says the defendant, a snowplower, piles his neighbor's snow onto his property and has badly damaged his 16-foot-high trees. The branches have all been snapped off. The guy has no right dumping his neighbor's snow into his yard, but he won't stop, and that's not fair. So he's suing for $2,416.80 to remove and replace 5 trees. This is the defendant, Thomas O'Connor. He says the plaintiff simply trying to blame a problem he's having with his trees on him. He never damaged anything because he simply doesn't push his client's snow onto the plaintiff's property. The guy's trees are just deceased and dying, and this lawsuit's a real joke. He's accused of a snow job. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $700 for research and preparation.
Edward Serio?
Yes.
You are suing Thomas O'Connor for $2,416.80 in damages that you say he caused with his snowplow. You are counterclaiming against him $700 and having to prepare for this case, which you say is frivolous. Tell me what's going on.
It started a couple of years ago. The defendant was plowing snow for a neighbor of mine, and my neighbor's driveway is on about a 45-degree hill. So he's pushing snow. As it snows, he was pushing snow down the driveway, across the street, and onto my property.
Onto your property?
Onto my property and into my trees. Several times, just this past year, I walked up to him and I asked him, I said, please don't push it across the street and into my property. I said, you're going to damage the trees. No response, no reply. I start walking away. I get 20, 30 feet away, and he continue on plowing it. And this has been going on for a couple of years.
Did you call police or anything on any of these occasions?
I did after the fact.
Why didn't you call it during the fact when someone's,
I didn't realize how much damage he was doing at the time because the trees were getting covered by the snow. But
I mean, how much snow is he's going to deny that he's putting snow on your yard. He's going to tell me he's putting it somewhere else. I've read his answer. So how much snow is being put on your yard? If it's to the degree that you're saying that he has to replace all your trees, I would think that that's a lot of, that's pretty assaulting. Yeah. So I'm just sort of wondering why you wouldn't call the police.
Well, like I said, after he was pushing the snow, everything was covered over, so I didn't know to what degree the damage was. But this
How
past
high
year,
is the mountain?
It was about 6 foot high.
And that alone wasn't offensive enough that you'd want
to... It built up.
I don't want 6 feet of snow on my property, even if it doesn't do damage. I don't want a 6-foot wall on my property that I wasn't banking on. That alone wasn't enough to make you call the police?
I agree.
It's strange, right? All right, so go ahead.
It was just, after so many storms, it kept on building up and building up. This last spring, March, I saw my neighbor out there, an elderly guy. So I went up to him and I said, Steve, I said, the guy that you hired to do the plowing, I said, can you see the damage that he did? He was out getting his mail at the mailbox, and his mailbox is across the street from my property. So he turned around from the mailbox and he looked, and this is looking across the street, elderly guy, poor vision, and he saw it and his jaw just dropped because I didn't realize he was doing all that damage. So I told him, I said, I want to get his name and his number. I said, I have to call him. I said, I'm either going to sue you for hiring him or him for doing it because he was the actual contractor that did it.
Okay. All right, what's going on?
Your Honor, yes, I do plow snow across the street from Mr. Serio. And yes, a couple of years ago, he did ask me not to push any snow across the street directly.
Directly to his property?
Correct.
Had you been?
Slightly, Your Honor. There is... The amount of snow we're talking about for this year is 3 to 4 times of what we've ever had. One storm alone, we had 30.5 inches of snow. We broke a record that goes back to 1888.
Okay.
Now, if I had taken 30 inches of snow, plowed it into his trees, he wouldn't have any trees.
Where were you putting the snow from the fellow whose yard you were doing?
Your Honor, the customer across the street has about a 300 or 400 foot driveway. There is a 20 to 30 foot incline. Most of the snow was pushed uphill to the customer across the street. On a return down...
Wait, pushed uphill to the customer across the street?
Yes, my customer.
Is there a third customer? I don't know what you're saying.
I have a customer directly across the street from Mr. Serio. That is my customer. That is the customer that is in question.
So most of the snow that you're plowing for that same customer was going where?
In his
own yard.
In his own yard.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. That time a few years ago where some of it, where he had a little bit of right. Tell me about that.
To tell you the truth, Your Honor, my customer called and asked me not to plow across the street. Okay, fine.
Okay, no, I'm
honored
asking
that.
you what you had done, that you're saying, he was a little right then. What was it you had done that he was a little right on? How much snow? Could you know? Could
To
you tell
tell you
me?
the truth, I actually don't know.
Okay,
I
so
actually
now
don't know.
you
We're
don't hear a
talking-
thing for years, and you are still plowing the neighbor in front of his yard, and according to you, in January, which is the quote offending date, he never walks out and talks to you.
Correct.
Okay, and then what happens? You get a lawsuit in the mail?
He left messages on my phone, okay, at the beginning of March. I went over, looked, because he said there was damage. Went over and looked. I said, there's no damage. These trees have looked this way since I've been plowing.
Okay, you said that to him or you said that to yourself?
No, to myself.
Okay, now, are you the only person who plows around there?
No, I am not. Your Honor, in a 3-week period, we had 60 inches of snow. It was so bad that the town of North Haven had to plow the streets back 2 to 3 feet.
And that was in the latter half of January
Correct.
as well, because I
Correct.
saw those emails
Correct.
from the city.
Yes.
All right, and so they plowed that street.
Correct.
Are you aware that the city itself was also was plowing the street?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
That's
and
why
can
we
you
pay
show
tax.
me? Do you have pictures of the
Yes.
damage to your?
Yes.
Can I see that?
So, if somebody pushes a huge amount of snow into a tree, can that kill a tree? What do you think?
No, I don't think it could kill the tree.
It's really, 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 really cold.
I guess it could freeze it on the inside core, the water inside, but other than that, I have no idea.
You think it's improbable that would happen?
It's possible, I guess.
Fair enough. What do you think? You live in snow ever?
Yes, I have. I don't think that it would kill a tree, but maybe if the plower hit the tree, that could have hurt it.
Real quick, could it kill a tree? Where do you live?
I grew up in Buffalo, New York.
Okay, then you qualify.
There's no way that snow can kill a tree. It's not possible. But I agree with your point that if the plow hit the tree could die.
Fair enough. Going inside the courtroom.
Now I'm looking at a branch that's been okay. Why do these trees need to be replaced over a few branches off?
Well, if you notice on some of the pictures, I'm standing next to it, pointing to it.
Yeah.
I'm 5'7". That's how high the branches were broken on the tree.
Okay, but how do I know that's not the storm? I mean, I don't understand. Why would the trees need to be replaced over that?
Just the snow being pushed up into it.
No,
Why-
that's
if
how
it's
the
not from
branches snap.
storm-
My question is, why would a snapped branch cause a tree to have to be removed?
Well, I have an estimate from a professional arborist.
That's fabulous. Did they say the trees have to be removed?
Yes. The
On
trees are
account of what?
damaged.
Snapped branches don't mean a tree has to be
The
removed.
trees are damaged that much that you can't fix them.
Okay.
And the
Can I
long-
see
you
the
a hole in it.
estimate that you were saying where they say that all this has to be removed because these trees are going to die? All right. And do you have anything else to show me in terms of pictures or bills or anything else?
Just have a marshal's.
Okay. All this
No.
says is this is what it will cost you to do what you want to do. Does not say that you need to remove these trees. That's the essence of your case. This estimate, I can get an estimate for bulldozing my house. It doesn't mean my house has damage and needs bulldozing. You understand what I'm saying? All right. Now, you have pictures that you want me to see? Is that what the screen's
Yes,
about?
Your Honor. I took a video of the damage, or quote-unquote damage.
Okay. Do you have pictures that you wanted to show me?
Yes, Your Honor. Here they are. They're essentially the same things, which include the tree. First one is the wires next to the tree. Second one is one of the spruces. There's actually 2 of them that are dead. I don't see any damage due to a plow.
2 spruces that are dead?
Yes, one right next to another, right next to the yellow sign.
Wait,
Some-
I'm not sure what you're trying to prove to me with that. What are you saying? 2 other spruces on his property unrelated to the ones in the front? I don't know what you're saying.
The claim is that he is removing 4 hemlocks and 1 spruce
Okay.
that need to be replaced.
Right.
The 1 spruce, there is no plow damage of any kind. It is fully branched. It's just plain
So
dead.
it's not one of the ones with broken branches. That's what
Correct.
you're telling me.
That, yes. Now, if you look at the other ones, and as the video shows, there's a hemlock that's probably 12 feet high that has a bald spot in it. There's a number of hemlocks all along. Not only the front of these hemlocks are in poor condition, but on the other side, the video shows that they are also in poor condition. One thing with hemlocks...
Okay, you know what? I'm done.
Thank
Can
you.
I ask you a question? Do you have a cell phone?
Yes.
Does your cell phone take pictures?
No.
Does your cell phone take video?
No.
Do you have a video camera in the house?
No, I don't.
I suggest you spend a few pennies on a better phone. They all now take video and take pictures. And if you ever catch anybody putting snow on your property, I suggest that you take a video through your window and then call the police. Because otherwise, you're in a really bad position to prove to me in a court of law that damage that you discover 2 months later is as a result of something somebody did 2 months ago. It's really hard, and you can't prove it. You can't prove that he did it or maybe God did it. You just can't prove why some branches snapped off and a tree died that doesn't have branches snapped off. On your counterclaim against him for $700 because you're angry that you had to Perry Mason up your case, I think you sort of enjoyed it. And I don't think that that's a recompensable expense, and I find 0 on your claim against him, 0 on your claim against him.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, let's see what he has to say about, well, you just couldn't prove your case. And you understand the judge's ruling?
I do, but I don't agree with it. I could have gotten the owner's house that he did plow out at and have him sign a statement, but I figured it would just be hearsay, so that's why I didn't pursue that.
Well, you could have brought witnesses, take video.
Yes, I could have done that.
How about video? You got a video camera?
No, I don't. I don't.
You gonna get one?
Nope.
Why not?
Next time I see it, I'm gonna call the police. Let them do their job.
All right, okay. All right, right down around the corner there. Your documents will be waiting for you there, okay? Head that way. All right, so Perry Mason, did you enjoy doing the research and development on this case?
No, I actually did not.
No?
It took away from time from my family and time from work to be able to have to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And that was my counterclaim. The judge found that that's not a legitimate reason.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. That's her decision. I understand that.
All
That
right.
is reasonable.
Harvey?
You know, it's a good idea if you're a businessman doing work on somebody else's property to have a phone with a cell phone with a video capability and photos, and you should take pictures and video before you leave showing exactly what you left to make sure you can prove in the event somebody makes a claim against you after you're gone. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.